One of the things about this whole charade of somehow the right wing being anti-LGBT is basically a transference of Western political norms to India. In the West, the right was against LGBT rights for a very long time. And the reason for that lies in the fact that they are religious conservatives as well, who look back on religious validation for their positions. And you look at Abrahamic religions, without exception, they condemn homosexuality. Now, the exception to this, of course, was Israel, where despite the biblical condemnation of homosexuality, they adopted LGBT rights very early. Now, in India, you look at it, it's completely different. This is one of the canards that the left keeps spreading in India. The fact is, if you look back at Indian traditions themselves, they're very pro, I won't say pro, but they're completely indifferent to homosexuality. Is in many cases in temple walls, it's been celebrated. In India, we used to recognize 63 different genders in the past. So all of these new genders coming up is also not a new invention. So the Indian right, if it looks back at its own traditions, will find that there was a heck of a lot of tolerance for all these things. So a lot of this is basically concocted nonsense, but we have to recognize that there is a certain homophobic section of the right wing. Why? Because the right wing is not some homogeneous organism. It's a very, very heterogeneous clubbing of different thoughts and ideologies. There are a lot of people who are pro-LGBT, and there are some people who are anti-LGBT. But I would also urge you to look that wherever you had cases of violent homophobia in India. In the West, you've had people shooting other people for being homophobic. We all know what ISIS and Al-Qaeda does to homosexuals. Show me a similar incident in India. It's never happened. So this is just complete rubbish. It's just nonsense spread. It's stereotyping of the worst possible kind. And, it really doesn't hold up to any kind of academic scrutiny.